Welcome to the house that Earl built in the Eldora Speedway as we bring you round number 9 of the DOB 410 Sprint Cars. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. Joined with me by my partners in crime, Mr. James Riles in the production truck, and we will be joined momentarily by Ben Bruno. Ben taking care of puppy duty right now until the better half gets home, and, you know, got to take care of the puppy. I'm definitely for animal rights. Is qualifying ending right now is pretty good times. We got Mason Hannigan going to the come on. Anyways, Mason Hannigan going to the top of the pile. Starting up on the point for heat race number 1. It's going to be the double 3 of Josh Pickell. Kevin Click going to join him on outside row number 1. Tyler Wilson going to be rolling inside row 2. He's going to be joined with your QuickTime Award winner, Mason Hannigan. The Red Cat QuickTime Award winner, I might add. Braden Eiler and Billy Rowley going to be rolling off in row 3. Row 4 gives us Kyle Stotts and Larry Moody. From the looks of it, we are looking at 4 heat races tonight. And according to my high-powered gazintas, 30 drivers. So good to see that one working out the way that it is. But heat race number 1, getting ready to roll on off. We're just waiting for the last couple of stragglers to grid up. It's going to be an 8-lap shootout here. Top 4 transfer directly into the A main. Everybody else is going to have to run the consolation races. Again, top 4. And then we are going to turn them loose for 35 laps for feature race action. 70-degree ambient air temperature, 65-degree track temperature. Relatively cool Ohio clay tonight. A little 4-mile-an-hour wind down the backstretch. And relative humidity pretty cool, so don't expect the track to go dry slick too quickly. As heat race number 1 rolling off. And again, Piquel going to have the button up on the front row there. And for those of you that are new to the DOB Sprint Car Series, the leader has preference of when they want to pull the trigger. As soon as the pace vehicle leaves the track, the leader can pull the trigger anytime between the entrance to turn 3 and the exit of turn 4, in which case the green flag will be out anyways. So as the field works its way down the back straightaway, again, heat race number 1 on track right now. Piquel on the inside, as it's Kevin Click on the high side on the front row. Quick Time Award winner Mason Hannigan in the A, sitting in row number 2 on the outside. Coming out of turn number 4, Piquel pulls the trigger, and we are underway for heat race number 1. Little slicing and dicing going on as we got one around already. It's Billy Rowley, and we got more issues on the backstretch. Braden Eiler, Kyle Stotts getting into it. There's Stoltz. Rowley getting into it in turn 1. Stoltz coming out on the losing end of that exchange with Eiler in 3 and 4. So that means those 3 guys are automatically going to alphabet soup. So that leaves Piquel, Click, Hannigan, Wilson, and Moody to try to figure out who's going to the A feature. Of course, that's 1 lap in the books, and I believe we have is that a Ben Bruno I'm hearing?
Indeed it is, and sorry for the delay on joining you here in the booth, but get the things sorted out here, and just in time for Heat 1, it looks like.
Yeah, you just missed the melee on Heat 1, as Rowley got into the wall in 1, and then Eiler and Stoltz got into it in turn 3 together. All 3 of those guys had to tow back to the pits as all those cars were just destroyed. So bring out the backup, boys. It's going to be a long night. As it looks like the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Ben, why don't you get us going for the restart?
The 33 of Joshua Piquel going to lead the field back to green this time as the iRacing pace truck makes its way onto the backstretch. A constant, almost constant left turn, I guess, except for the front stretch. And as we're going to find out here, this top line going to become very dominant. The 33 of Piquel, the 25 of Click. Who can get it done? 1 lap into this one, and we're ready to go back racing here with the DOB 410 Sprint Car Series.
Piquel held him down till the green flag came out. Click right there with him. Hannigan on the extreme low side trying to make something happen. Not going to work for him. Or sorry, that was Wilson on the extreme low side. As Wilson hemorrhaging spots right now. He's got to get it figured out. Here comes Hannigan to the inside of Click. Oh! That was Hannigan into the wall.
Hannigan and Moody. Moody in the 173.
Ouch. Well, the good news is, if you're Josh Piquel, Kevin Click, or Tyler Wilson, you've just made it into the A feature. Bad news is, Mason Hannigan, Larry Moody, Billy Rowley, Braden Eiler, Kyle Stoltz, all going to have to go to the backup car. Right now, Hannigan has the final transfer spot. But Rowley, Eiler, and Stoltz, Rowley now jumps up to the 4 position, as he did get that car fixed enough to be able to get back out on track. So So Piquel, Click, Wilson, Rowley, your transfer positions. Braden Eiler in the 005 and Kyle Stoltz in the 01, trying to figure out what they've got to do to get by Rowley.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing here is this is another one of these tracks for these guys that as the night goes on, the slickness comes into play. The track gets racier and racier. So, I mean, the night's just going to get better and better here for these guys. Right now, when it's this tacky, it can be tough to get the job done as there's just so much speed in these cars. But
Well, yeah,
the
and the car
pace
doesn't want
lights
to
are
turn.
back out here again as well.
Yeah, and the car doesn't want to turn when the track's this tacky. These cars are meant to slide, and unfortunately, this early in the night, it's very difficult to do that. You basically have to have two settings in the car, two setups available for your car. As the field working its way out of turn number 4 behind your leader, Josh Piquel, in that orange and black 33. We are back underway as Piquel, Click, and Wilson, the only 3 cars on the lead lap, running 1, 2, 3 on track. The battle right now is between Stoltz, Rowley, and Eiler, as those guys are slugging it out for position. Currently, Stoltz has it in the 01.
Absolutely. Halfway down in this one, and these guys are putting on a show. Rowley now back to the bottom. Contact with Stoltz. Going to send Stoltz around. Big moment there for Stoltz, and tough break there is James dials up the replay here for us. You see the 79 very aggressive down on the inside, going to slide up the track and contact with the 01, and a car slipping by there. Looks like that was Eiler.
Yeah.
Lucky to not sustain any more damage than he already has, as he's got no hood on the 5 car.
That was a slide job gone completely wrong. It's just one of those racing deals. And looks like Moody back out on track. So that gives us 5 drivers now slugging it out. Hannigan's still working on that car, thrashing on it. Still currently only 1 lap down, as caution laps do not count here in the DOB Dirt Series. So Piquel, Click, Wilson, your top 3. Those guys are just about guaranteed, but that and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee. As looks like we are 2 to go. Going to be 1 to go to the restart, as we are currently under caution number 3, and only a lap 5 in the books.
And I mean, aero's so important in these cars. And if we take a look at the 5 of Eiler, he's going to be in the 4th and final transfer spot on this restart with a lot of damage. So important for these guys. You got to figure he's, I hope not for him, but he's probably going to be as good as a paperweight, as we know Stoltz is so fast, probably going to be able to take that transfer spot away and see if anybody else has a shot at it.
Now, there's ways to get around that. If he slides that top wing as far forward as it'll go, it'll kind of even out the aero distribution on the car. Normally, with the front wing on the car, it loosens the car up. But with what he's going to need to do, he's going to need to, have that front wing or the top wing working as both the front and rear wing. So you can see him slide up there a little bit in 1. As here comes Stoltz to the inside. Stoltz, with a head of steam, gets the transfer spot. Here comes Eiler battling back on the high side. Now, again, both those guys are 1 lap down to the lead trio of Piquel, Click, and Wilson. But that final transfer spot still hot and heavy. Stoltz on the inside, Eiler on the high side, still trying to make it happen as we are popsicle stick or white flag in the air. And that's the race.
I got to side with you on that, Tony. I'm not sure what happened there. It was scored on 7 for me.
Because they were a lap down and we both missed it.
Okay, yep.
So
yep.
Piquel, Click, Wilson, and Stoltz all going to the A feature. Eiler, Rowley, and Moody and Hannigan all going to Alphabet Soup. Ben, who do we have for E-Race number 2?
Row number 1, going to see Joe Quinn and Mark Broderick. Row number 2, the 26 of Vinny Sansone, and the 8 of Daniel Zeggers. In row number 3, the 11 of Zach McLaughlin, and the 96 of Matt Dixon. In row number 4, the 4 of Jeremy Zarfos, and the 93 of Chris Roberts.
So eight cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. Again, 8 laps of scheduled distance. Top 4 directly into the A feature. Everybody else is running the alphabet soup. And for those of you wondering what I'm talking about when I say that, they usually letter the consolation races D main, C main, B main, etc. And that's just what they call it. Alphabet soup, because you really don't want to be in the soup, especially with such a prestigious race as Eldora. So field working its way down the back straightaway as the pace truck starts to pick up a little bit of speed. Quinn going to have the button, working their way through 3 and 4. Broderick on the high side. Here we go for heat race number 2.
Joe Quinn with a great jump on this one. He's going to slide from bottom to top, and he's got some Hornets behind him as they're starting to go 2 by 2. Now down to the bottom, big move for Broderick. Slide job on Joe Quinn. He's going to lead this lap. What a move from him. We see the 80 of Sansone now to the bottom. This is a 3-car battle for the lead. What a race here in heat race number 2.
Absolutely. As Quinn tried to cross Broderick back over, didn't have the room to get the slide job done. Here comes Sansone on the inside, trying to reel in Broderick. Broderick right now, though, on rails. Final transfer spot goes to Dan Zeggers. Matt Dixon trying to wrestle that away from him. His head is an angry pack of Hornets from Sansone back.
Absolutely, and that's the one to watch. Here comes Zeggers. They touch, and it's going to send Quinn around and also collect the 11 of McLaughlin. A big accident there for McLaughlin is
race car to the face.
Yep, the 8 of Zeggers up track into Quinn, and that's going to send them both broadside, and boom! In the 96 of Dixon as well, going to collect some there. It's like not a lot of aero damage, but what a contact. Yeah,
that was the ugliest one we've seen so far tonight. Definitely our first, thank God this is a simulator kind of moment. As McLaughlin and Quinn both having to go pit side. Probably going to have to break out the backup cars for later in the night, trying to get those cars fixed, as those teams are just thrashing on those rides in the pits, trying to get any little bit of fix that they can. Now, we did see that help the guys in the first heat race with the fact that they had 3 cautions. That did help those guys that did crash early. But nobody wants to see that happen ever.
Absolutely. And it's the real damper of it is, he's running a good race. Quinn's running a good race. They're both running good races, and McLaughlin as well, and Dixon. But when that's the way that your night ends, it's nearly impossible to recover because you're almost forced to tow out. And then these guys don't have a fast repair. So once you do that, you're headed straight to the alphabet soup, and it wasn't because of what you did in the race. But the pace lights are out on the pace truck, and that's going to hand this restart to Broderick. He's got Sansone behind him in the 80. He's been coming fast all night, and that's going to allow Dixon to the 3rd spot. So can one of these guys have enough speed in that car to take it away from Broderick? He's run a perfect race so far. He's back on the loud pedal to begin lap number 6. Here we go.
Absolutely. As Sansone slots into second, Dixon, Zaffos. As Zaffos gets into the wall on the backstretch, keep it right side up, son. Holy cow, that was a big moment, as that now puts Zeggers and Roberts slugging it out for the final transfer spot, as Dixon trying to make that outside lane work to wrestle the number 2 spot away from Sansone. Right now, though, Broderick has set sail, as that final transfer spot still hot and heavy, with Roberts on the high side, Zegler on the inside, Zappos right there as well. They were 3 wide for a second. White flag, or checkered flag in the air, coming to the stripe. Give it to Broderick, Sansone, Dixon, and Zappos at the line. Chris Roberts, Zegler. Come on. Why you got to be that way? I hate my timing and scoring. Have I mentioned that yet? Roberts, Zegler, McLaughlin, and Quinn all having to go into the consies. Heat race number 3, getting ready to grid on up. Darren Detweiler, Double D himself in the 3D, going to be starting up on the pole. Tyler Henselman starting outside row number 1. Row 2 gives us Rusty Kruger and Kevin Hanley. Shane Paulo and Andrew Clark rolling off in row 3, with row 4 going to Peyton Griles and Pat Spangler and Peyton Grice. So, in case you're wondering why it's a little bit different, and why I mentioned earlier in heat race number 1 that, Hannigan started up on outside row number 2. They invert the fast 4 in each heat race. So once they do the sort, they take the top 4 and invert them. So by process of elimination, Double D, Darren Detweiler, are going to be rolling off from the point on this one. He's going to have the button as we get ready to turn them loose for 8 laps.
And it's going to be a fun 8 laps, probably the best that we've seen so far. This studded field here in heat race number 3 in the track, coming into shape rather nicely, as we saw in the last heat race. Lots of action all over the track. 2 good grooves to run the slider line, really coming to it. The 3 of Double D and the 110 of Kevin Hanley, the 21 of Tyler Henselman, coming around one last time here. That's going to give the green light to Darren Detweiler, and he's got a great jump, and these guys wasting no time back behind him here. That's going to see Rusty Kruger now on the top side, making a great push early on in this one.
Now, you might be noticing that there's a 21 on the side of Hanselman's car being scored in timing and scoring, though, as the 30. That's why we don't let tech officials drink before handing out the transponders. But right now, that battle for the final transfer spot, actually the battle for second, hot and heavy between Kruger, Hanselman, and Hanley. Those 3 guys just throwing haymakers at each other. Right now, the guy in the catbird seat, though, is Shane Paulo. If anything could go wrong, Paulo's got enough time to make an evasive maneuver to try to get away from those guys. 3 wide going into 1 for second.
And they're going to stay 3 wide coming off. Rusty Kruger able to take advantage of this 3-car battle now. That's going to see Hanley on the top right behind him. Going to try to move down just a little bit. The 21 of Henselman now getting past for that 4th and final transfer spot on the top side of the Speedway by Shane Paulo. In also the 21 car has the momentum build up in that car and able to take away the 4th and final transfer spot.
Absolutely, as Paulo currently in the final transfer spot. Hanselman on the outside looking in, only going to have 1 more lap to go at the stripe. Double D, Darren Detweiler, putting on a clinic right now, about half a straightaway to the good over the number 5 of Kruger. And Kruger another half straightaway back to that battle for 3rd between Hanley and Paulos. Those guys are side by side, slugging it out across the stripe. Give it to Detweiler, Kruger, Hanley, Paulo, going straight to the A feature. Henselman, Clark, Spangler, and Grice all going to alphabet soup. 3 of the 4 heat races in the books. As we are just going to be waiting here for a second. And Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the first heat race of the night that went stem to stern, green flag.
If I'm not mistaken, you're correct, and it was a great one. That battle there, as we saw Paulo just pretty much come straight up through the field, was absolutely incredible as he drove the wheels off. But the slider in 1 and 2 was a little bit too soon, Junior, and that let Hanley take it right back away from him in 3 and 4 to take away the 3rd spot. But fortunate for Paulo, able to advance, as you said, right in. Rolling into heat race number 4 here, Tony. Ernie Williams Jr. on the point of this one to his outside. Ryan Scheit, row number 2 composed of Anthony Job in the 80 of Joshua Steinke. Row number 3 going to be composed of John Batista and Jonathan Lowe. And by his lonesome, in row number 4, going to find John Bragman in the 17.
Absolutely. So 31 cars here tonight, 7 in this final heat race of the evening. Again, 8 laps of scheduled distance. Top 4 go directly into the A feature. And from the looks of it, we are going to have one hell of a consi before all is said and done, Ben. As lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing, Ernie Williams Jr. going to have the button on the inside. He's joined with Ryan Scheidt in the 10. So 9 and 10 on the front row here. Little bit of quirk. I find that amusing, but hey, that's me. I'm weird like that. Pace truck picks up speed going through 3 and 4. Williams has the button. He can fire anytime as soon as the pace truck clears the racing surface. Waits till he can get a pointed green flag in the air, and we are back underway. Heat race number 2. And don't look now, but here comes Anthony Job.
Anthony Job now getting split. He's going to have to move to the top, and maybe not the benefactor of that battle is Steinke has got it rolling in the 80 on the bottom. He's going to throw a slider on the 10, and he's going to take away the second spot temporarily. Now we see Ryan Scheidt on the top with a big slide job back on Steinke. So this track really coming into its own here as these guys keep battling side by side, all kinds of action. Looking further behind him, Job now in battle from Batista as Job's got it. Batista wants it. He's down to the bottom now. See if he can make it stick. A little bit of contact with the backstretch wall for Steinke, or Job, I'm sorry. And that opens the door, but unable to take advantage is Batista.
Batista was trying for the slide job, wasn't able to make it happen, had to back out of it, knew he didn't have the clear, going to try it again, through 3 and 4, bangs the cushion, off we go. Here comes Joe back to the inside, crossing him over. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, side by side down the back straightaway. 2 to go this time across the line as Williams Jr., Scheidt, and Steinke, your top 3. This battle for the final transfer spot, hot and heavy between Anthony Job and John Batista.
And Job able to hold on, actually gets taken away now by Batista. So Batista with some contact, or Job with some contact, allows Batista to get around. Last lap here forced Ernie Williams Jr. He's beating the wall down, coming off of turn number 4. Ernie Williams Jr., Joshua Steinke, Ryan Scheidt, and John Batista gonna advance. That's gonna see Job in the soup and Lowe in the soup as well. So tough break for those guys, but what a race there between Batista and Job.
Absolutely. As the B main starting to grid up right now, the other one that we didn't name was John Bragman going to the soup. So this one, 12 laps the scheduled distance, 8 to the feature. Eiler and Roberts going to roll off in row 1. Row 2 gives us Hanselman and Job. Row 3 sees Billy Raleigh and Dan Zaggers. Andrew Clark and Jonathan Lowe in row 4, with row 5 going to Larry Moody and Zach McLaughlin. Pat Spangler and John Bragman are going to be rolling off in row 6, with row 7 seeing Mason Hannigan and Joe Quinn. Not something you would expect to see from the points leader, having to run this deep in the B main. And starting, so Bragman and Hannigan and Quinn going to roll off in row 7, and starting shotgun on the field, Peyton Grimes in the 92. As cars starting to roll off here for the Consi. Again, 12 laps of scheduled distance. Top 8 go to the A feature.
8 gonna go, 7 gonna go to the hauler, and gonna be a fun one. Keep your eyes on the one of Hannigan, as he's gonna look to try to get the best starting spot that he can out of this situation and avoid any trouble that leads to not making it into this one, which would be, he's been pretty dominant, but it would be detrimental to his points overall. So not gonna be what he wants, but really a lot of guys in here that have had fast cars tonight that just couldn't avoid the wrong ones, if you will.
Absolutely. And if you are watching this and you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications, and drop a comment. Who are you riding with tonight? Who's your pick to take it all here at Eldora in the 410 sprints for the DOB. Pace truck is in. Eiler has the button, pulls the trigger, and we are underway for 12 laps of B main action.
Eiler out front, Chris Roberts on the top. He's got a handful of cars now. The 79 of Rowley way to the bottom side of the Speedway, trying to make that stick. Unable to, pulls up to the door of Chris Roberts as Tyler Henselman, the benefactor of that battle. And that's the battle for second. And it's really the battle between second and maybe the last transfer spot is quite the handful we got going on back here as they go 3 wide continuously here. Chris Roberts in the middle of Rowley in the 73 and more cars coming.
Absolutely, and that's the worst thing you can hear your spotters say in the iRacing servers. 3 wide, you're the meat. So right now, Eiler, Job, Hanselman, Moody, Raleigh, Zeglers, Roberts, Clark, your transfer positions into the A. Mason Hannigan working on Clark right now, trying to wrestle that final transfer spot away from him as they work into turn number 3.
And Clark's on the outside looking in. There's that one of Hannigan down on the bottom, making it stick, passes Clark like he's hardly even, I'm sorry, he did not pass Clark yet. Now to the top side as that bubble spot is rather hot right now. That's, you know, you're sitting safe if you're Daniel Zeggers in 6th, but don't blink, because if you do, you're going to be out of this one. A little bit of contact going to open the door for that to happen as Clark around now on the top side. So quite the battle at the bubble.
Absolutely, as Hannigan gets by Zeggers and gets by Clark. Great run coming off of 4, gets a 2 for almost. Clark battles back on the inside. Right now, the final transfer spot is between Dan Zeggers and Chris Roberts. Zach McLaughlin trying to make some headway in the 11 as well, currently sitting in the number 10 spot. But Braden Eiler has just flat checked out, over 2 seconds to the good over second place Anthony Job, who's got another second to the good over the battle for third between Hanselman, Rawl, and Clark.
Absolutely, and Chris Roberts now on the hot seat down on the bottom. He's trying to make his way into this A main as only 8 will go. He's currently scored in 9th. Peyton Grice now trying to take a look to him. That's going to open up Zeggers for that final transfer spot as this next time by going to be 1 to go here. And Hannigan continues to move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, if you had told me half the guys that are in this B main were going to be in this B main at the start of the night, I would have told you all you were a liar. But right now, Eilers, Job, Rowley, Clark, Hannigan, Moody, Zeggers, and Grice still throwing haymakers at each other, coming across the stripe. Give it to Eiler, Job, Rowley, Hannigan, Clark, Hanselman, Moody, and Zeggers getting the final transfer spot. Grice, Robert, Spangler, Quinn, McLaughlin, Bragman, and Lowe all putting it on the hauler, calling it a night. So we are going to step away for a quick moment, a quick word from our good friends at Red Cat while we wait for them to sort out who's going in the 6-gun shootout. And that was a word from our good friends at Red Cat. That's their new one. James.
Marksman.
Thank you. The new Marksman, and I do apologize for forgetting the name. I would forget my own name if it wasn't tattooed on my underwear. As warm-up session rolling off right now, as we got Piquel, Sansoni, Detweiler, Click, Stanky, Kruger, and Detweiler, and Broderick all in the 6-gun shootout, actually 8-gun shootout tonight here at Eldora, as final crack at seeing what this track is doing. And this is going to kind of determine with the redraw where these guys are going to be lining up in the A feature. But with the holidays coming, nothing could be a better gift to the gearhead in your life than getting them a hobby-grade radio-controlled vehicle from our good friends over at Red Cat Racing. They have on-road vehicles. They have scale crawlers. Matter of fact, I've got one of their Gen 7 crawling units, and I couldn't be happier with it. The thing came locked, cocked, and ready to rock. All you had to do is put the 4 AA batteries that came with it in the controller, charge the battery pack that it comes with, the battery pack and the charger and the motor, pre-built, ready to go. Just snip 2 tie straps to get it out of the packaging and charge the battery, and you're good to go for hours of fun. And that is our good friends over at Red Cat. And I would love to get a good look at that new officially licensed Jeep that they are coming out with there. As that's going to do it for the shootout. As William, Steinke, Kruger, Piquel, Broderick, Detweiler, Click, and Sansoni going to be rolling off in what? Anyways, that's going to be your top 8 starting here. But, Ben, I don't know about you, but, something about the holidays, and I remember being a young person, middle school-ish. No. It was getting time towards the holidays, and, you always look forward to, the holiday season, and, you get that one special gift.
Absolutely.
And I'll never forget the day that my folks got me my first hobby grade RC vehicle. This was back before the ready to runs were available. And anything that was ready to run was not hobby grade. But ouch. Ernie Williams Jr. going for a wild one. But that putting that thing together with my dad, working on it, and then taking it racing, that's a defining moment in a young person's life. You get to work with your family and enjoy the moments together, and that's really what the hobby grade RC vehicles can allow you to do. And you're not going to find a better price point than the Red Cat family of vehicles. So check them out at redcatracing.com. Link in the video description below for the new one. Yeah, absolutely. Car's starting to grid up for the A main. Ben, let's start with row 5 and let them get sorted out, and we'll give them the top 8 once they get that sorted.
Yeah, row number 5 gonna see the 42 of Tyler Wilson and the 96 of Matt Dixon. Row number 6 gonna find Kevin Hanley and Ryan Scheidt. Row number 7, Kyle Stoltz and Jeremy Zarfos. Row number 8, Shea Paolo, and to his outside, the 54 of John Batista. Row number 9 gonna find Braden Eiler and Anthony Job. Row number 10, Billy Rowley and Mason Hannigan from 20th. Row number 11, Andrew Clark and Tyler Henselman. And to round this one out, we're going to find the 173 of Larry Moody, accompanied by Daniel Zeggers.
And it looks like starting up on the point is going to be the 33 of Piquel. Ernie Williams Jr. going to be joining him on row 1. Row 2 sees Josh Steinke and Double D, Darren Detweiler. Row number 3 gives Kevin Click and Vinny Sansoni, with row 4 going to Rusty Kruger and Matt Broderick. So as the pace truck starts to pick up speed, we're going to turn them loose. 35 laps of scheduled distance. Remember, cautions don't count. As the field works its way into the 3-4 complex, the only thing it's left to do is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety hunters, make sure the steering wheel's on nice and tight. Grandpa, trick or treat, because it's showtime!
And nobody wasting any time. Darren Detweiler from the bottom to the top. Now going to have a look to the inside as Joshua Piquel. Slide job from Piquel. No, going to keep it pasted to the bottom. And there's certainly some grip down there as we see him able to stick coming off better than Detweiler was able to get off the top. And Darren Detweiler has got a very hungry number 80, Joshua Steinke, beating on his door. Now going to take a look to the middle, and here comes Sansoni.
Absolutely, as those guys working their way on lap 3. No quarter asked for, no quarter given yet, as that battle for second still hot and heavy, and everything behind still up for grabs. As Piquel on the low side, Detweiler on the high side. That is your battle for second currently, as right now Williams just flat checking out. And you know as well as I do, Ben, this is not the season Josh Steinke was hoping for. He's looking to turn that around this week at Eldora. And we are under caution number 1 already. Mark Broderick, Matt's little brother, puts it over on the lid. Looks like Clark had some issues as well. And Mason Hannigan going for a ride. Hannigan's in the pits.
Oh, yeah, I spotted that one there. Just before that caution came out, Hannigan was going down the back stretch. I believe it was on lap number 4.
That was the front stretch. Ow.
And just a wild ride for him, and not exactly what he wanted to see here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hanley and Hannigan both in the pits right now, as are Clark, Zeggers, and Paulo. As bear with us, folks. We're having a little bit of technical issues in the production truck right now. We will get that sorted out as soon as we possibly can. But how about the run we're seeing from Ernie Williams Jr. already here? Started from the point and has led from stem to stern already.
Absolutely. He's always got a ton of speed there in the 91 car, and seemed like early on in the season just couldn't avoid the dumpster fires, but now really starting to come into his own, as we've seen him on the podium a couple of times as of more recent. As the lights go out on the iRacing pace truck, the field heading down off of turn number 2, and that's going to find, as you had mentioned, Ernie Williams Jr. bringing us back to the green flag.
Absolutely, as working their way down the back straightaway. Hanley, Zeggers, and Broderick able to get it back out of pits. Paulo and Hannigan spending an extended period of time. Paulo finally rolling. Hannigan's going to go a lap down here, as we've got 5 in the books already. Williams pulls the trigger coming out of 4, and we are back underway.
And a single file restart, but don't have to stay single. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Darren Detweiler tried the middle. Steinke able to get a ton of momentum out of turn number 2 to propel him out in front of Darren Detweiler. As at the flag, he's going to take away the second spot. And behind him, Piquel. That's Piquel, Sansoni, and
Click.
Rusty Kruger and Kevin Click shaking it up. And Rusty, tough luck in the dash to set the field. He's wasting no time. Contact between Sansoni and Click, and that's going to give up wholesale spots for both of these guys. Big one going into turn number 3. Wow, what a wreck there.
Yeah, that was, you kind of saw it coming. Stop moving.
So, Scheit's the first one that's going to go around. I believe it was Wilson with some contact on, oh, I'm sorry, not Scheit.
No, that was the 110 of Hanley. I think. No.
Trying to figure out who's up in the air here. Tyler Wilson is the car up in the air originally, and then gonna trickle down. Braden Eiler getting involved in that one as well. But what a hard ride there.
Absolutely is. Broderick and Paulo go back pit side. But yeah, Wilson went for a hell of a ride.
So things relatively shuffled up here as some big movers with these early cautions. Batista, who
jeepers,
I think just avoided contact in that one.
Well, there were a couple cars that, had this been the real world, those top wings would have been completely ripped off the cars. As Zegers back down pit road again, Paulo back down pit road, Wilson and Hannigan still on pit road as those two guys are trying to get those cars fixed. Looks like Paulo rolling again. Zegers finally back out, but yeah, we've seen a lot of action here already as green flag comes back into the air. Williams pulls the trigger, and we are back underway.
A little bit of contact there for Ernie Williams Jr. down the backstretch, and Steinke able to close in within 2 car lengths now off of this initial restart. But back behind him, Darren Detweiler now back to the top side of Steinke for that 3rd spot as things relatively settled out, and Piquel continuing to battle on the bottom side.
Absolutely. It's Piquel and Detweiler going side by side right now. Detweiler with the nose out front. Here comes Detweiler on the high side trying to make it happen. As Piquel trying to maintain, running down where it looks like there might be a little bit of moisture, so the bottom lane working for Detweiler so far, or Piquel so far. And I'm not seeing it. Ryan Scheidt going around in the 10. So big moment there. Let's take a look at what happened. Looks like coming through 3 and 4. Slide job gone wrong and just Tommy tip over. And the 8 of Zegers still trying to pit farm the 8. He is back on pit. Clark is finally back. No, Clark is looks like Clark has put it on the hauler. And as soon as timing and scoring decides to play nicely with me here. So Williams, Jr., Steinke, Piquel, Detweiler, Click, Sansoni, Kruger, Dixon, Eiler, Zaffos, and Zaffos rounding out your top 10. But Ben, caution number 4 already out.
Yeah, 12 laps into this one, and 4 cautions. It certainly opened the door for some of these guys to make their way through the field rather swiftly, and has generated quite a few big movers. Braden Eiler, one of those guys from 17th inside of the top 10 now. Actually, I believe he was credited with the caution there that time as we get ready to go back to green here. Ernie Williams Jr. out front of the field, and he's going to step on the lap pedal first.
Green flag back in the air as Williams Jr. getting a great jump. Let's see if Piquel can continue to use that low side like he was doing before the caution came out. Right now, Steinke making it happen on the high side, rim riding, using the Larson line as they jokingly call it. But Piquel misses the low lane, slides up in the slick stuff, and as you would expect at Eldora, this track has gone stupid dry slick. Looks like Matt Dixon bringing that one out. As soon as I can find out where the hell he is.
Yeah, I was going down the backstretch. It was Rusty Kruger on the top side, and Dixon just kind of got straight coming down the backstretch. Contact with Kruger sends Dixon around, and luckily nobody else got collected. My oh my,
Wow.
as those guys were moving, into 100 miles an hour by a good bit, and no contact. So that could have been bad for a couple of guys.
So if you're looking for a good dry cleaner in the Roswell area, you want to call John's Dry Cleaning Service over on Main Street. They'll get all the stains out of your fire suits. As Williams continues to show the way, quickly approaching the halfway mark. We've got 14 laps in the books so far. So Williams, Steinke, Piquel, Detweiler. Piquel and Detweiler slid back a little bit there on that last restart. So going to be interesting to see how this one plays out moving forward. So, and this just in, Broderick has put it on the hauler. As the field, and though they're not with us on track tonight, we do have to thank the Streaker brothers, Harl and Earl. And we got one over on the front stretch. We'll get to that momentarily here. Looks like
John Batista
getting it all wrong on the front chute on the restart. But we do have to thank the Streaker brothers for bringing you the action here tonight. Without their generous contribution to the league, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you to Earl and Harl Jr. Again, thank you, gentlemen. Looking forward to seeing you back out on track with us real soon.
And that was all a result of two guys coming for the same spot on the track in the front stretch. That's Zarfos with the contact, and Stoltz coming in, and Stoltz certainly didn't cause it by any means, but didn't help Zarfos be able to avoid that one. So tough break there for him. Batista gonna catch the hammer as the cause of caution. Maybe a little bit of a jump to the restart there that ultimately led to them being in that position. And it's still all the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. so far, as just called you Frank. Tony had mentioned.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Miss you, Frank. But from the start of this one, all Ernie Williams Jr. and Steinke came storming up through where he was able to finish the dash in this one, and him and Piquel battled for a little bit. Darren Detweiler battled with Piquel for a little bit, but this is the first restart for Piquel that he's going to have cleaner air in front of him. He's still got to deal with Steinke and Ernie Williams Jr. as they get on the loud pedal once again. Ernie Williams Jr. not as good of a start as we've seen in the past here so far tonight, as Steinke able to get right there, and Piquel continues to use a different line than everybody else on the track.
Just searching for any drop of moisture, as this track, you can see how shiny it is, has gone very dry, very slick here with only 17 laps into this piece. And, you could see it there on the restart. Williams and everybody were looking for some moisture coming to the green. So Williams decided to take it low, see what there was down there, wasn't real happy with it, and immediately goes back up the rim right and hits the wall in the backstretch, and we are back under caution as soon as my timing and scoring decides to play nicely. Looks like Kyle Stoltz. Wow! Stoltz and Detweiler.
Oh, and Rollie.
Oi. There's another car there, and I can't quite see who that is. Possibly Sansoni?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sansoni was on his side on the backstretch.
And I believe he also took it to the hauler.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did as well. And Detweiler given cause of the caution there as well. So the field is getting shorter for Hannigan, but 9 laps down for Hannigan here, Tony.
Yeah, he's just out there now trying to gain as many points as he can to not have this night be a complete dumpster fire. But he's going to re-rack and go to the big block race. Be sure to stick around because we will be at
Limaland
next. Thank you, Ben.
Yes,
I
sir.
had a little brain fart there. But we're getting ready to turn them back loose here. Williams Jr. going to have the button one more time. Coming through 3 and 4. Waits for it. Goes to the high side this time. Great restart for Steinke. Able to stay with him. Gets it into the clean stuff. And fires and racks it again. Here comes Piquel on the low side. Running that middle groove. I got to give Piquel credit. He's actually making it happen. Now down on the low side coming off the 4. And don't look now, but here comes Kevin Klick and Rusty Kruger.
Absolutely. And right as that last caution came out, Ernie Williams Jr. had a big moment in the backstretch catching the wall that opened the door to Steinke. So, I mean, saved by the bell there. See if Ernie can continue to hold on to this one as Steinke just so calm and consistent, sticking that right rear right against the wall as Ernie Williams does as well. But as you had said there, Piquel, one of the only guys to be brave enough to run a touch lower, as we see Kruger now starting to run down there with him, able to pull up a side Klick and unable to clear him for the time being. But these guys starting to find something to the moisture on the bottom.
Well, you can see it down there, about a half a car width off that inside wall. There's a secondary cushion starting to form, so if you can get your tires into that, you should be okay. But meanwhile, Williams and Steinke have just flat checked out at the front of this piece.
And Steinke trying for it here on Williams, tried throwing it down low on him, could not make it happen. So back to the top for Steinke. Ernie Williams Jr. going to be able to hold on for the time being, but for how long? And what will it be that Josh Steinke does to try to make it happen? Is he's now staring at a fuel tank of the 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. when he thought that maybe he had a shot at it. Piquel still out in front of Eiler now after being credited with a caution not too long ago. Has stormed back through up to the 4th spot now. As didn't quite catch what happened there with Kevin and Rusty, but Kevin in the 5th spot right now, followed by Rusty in the 6th spot. Battle for 3rd starting to heat up now as Braden Eiler catches the wall, making a pass on the 33 of Piquel. So the top too good for Eiler as Piquel thought he had it figured out in the middle.
Absolutely. Trying to make it happen there as we are quickly approaching. It'll be 6 to go, this time across the stripe. Williams and Steinke 3 seconds to the good over the 3rd place. Braden Eiler right now, who's got about half a straightaway to the good, almost the complete straightaway to the good over 4th place Piquel. And Piquel is starting to lose ground to Kevin Klick pretty quickly.
And with that, these guys just continue to run away. And the 33 of Piquel has now fallen into the clutches of Kevin Klick. And Rusty Kruger's coming right along with him. Klick tries low. Kruger going to go high. Klick might have the car to get it done on the bottom slide job on Piquel. Going to cross back over and be able to take it back. And here comes the 10 of Kruger. 2-for-1 special. Not going to be able to clear it as he has to check up for the 33 of Piquel. Klick gets back around him.
Absolutely. 2 to go this time across the stripe. Josh Steinke showing the way. Ernie Williams showing the way. Steinke, though, all over him. As white flag now, white flag going to be in the air this time. The battle's for the lead. Williams Jr. on the high side. Steinke back a little bit as Williams working through lap traffic right now. Coming off of turn number 4, give it to the 91, Ernie Williams Jr., your winner here at Eldora. Steinke able to hang on for second. Eiler salvages a third after getting an EOL penalty for bringing out a caution. Piquel, Click, Kruger, Job, Moody, Paulo, and Zarfos, your top 10.
Coming home in 11th was the 01 of Kyle Stoltz, 12th, Matt Dixon, 13th, found Tyler Henselman, and then starting with cars a lap down, Daniel Zeggers, Kevin Hamley sticking it out, Mason Hannigan finishing 9 laps down in 16th. Darren Detweiler took it to the hauler early along with Vinny Sansoni, who came home in 18th. Billy Rowley in 19th, John Batista in 20th, Mark Broderick in 21st, Ryan Scheidt in 22nd, Tyler Wilson 23rd, and Andrew Clark rounded us out in 24th.
So we are going to go right now to the man that had the car to beat all night long tonight. Driver of the 91 Maxim Chassis 410, your winner, Ernie Williams Jr. Ernie, congratulations on getting the victory in the house that Earl built.
Absolutely one of my favorite tracks, man. I'm from Ohio, around Lima, so Limaland and Eldora, I kind of like try to, make sure I got good laps on them tracks. So I feel like those are my 2 best tracks on the game. So other than that, my teammate was behind me, come towards the end there a little bit. My car started to get loose. I probably missed a little bit of the setup there about from the halfway, about lap 20, 22 on. I could feel my car just going away. So we'll take the win. He probably had a little faster car than me the last 5 or 6 laps, and I just don't know what happened. But I could hear him come up on me, so I knew he was coming. But we'll take it however we can get it.
Well, he couldn't get by you without wrecking you, and most teams have that rule of try not to kill each other. But if you are going to do it, make sure it's a Sports Center highlight. And he was trying not to be a Sports Center highlight.
Yeah. We have that little code too. We race each other really hard. Sometimes we do get into each other, but I think we race each other harder than we race other people. Because other people get mad at you and stuff like that. Or teammates still, they'll only be mad for an hour or so. But I know he's going to race me hard. I know he's going to race me clean. So that's all you can ask for, man. And I know he's going to do that. So I just go out there and just race hard. And thank God I got back around him. A couple of times he slid me, and I got to run out of the corners a little bit, and it worked out for me. And then the last few laps, I think he was saying in Discord that he just missed the line a little bit and let me pull away there in the last couple of laps, and pretty much let me coast around the last few laps, which is nice because I didn't really like the pressure there, to be honest.
Well, Ernie, from the looks of it up here, that track went stupid dry slick tonight.
It did. It got really slick. I wasn't expecting it to get slick throughout the other builds and stuff. It hasn't really got it that slick, so I don't know. I didn't really check the weather or anything when I come in, but it got really. We was even talking about it like in the 3rd and 4th heat. It was almost like feature slick then, and it was just like, man, what's the track's going to do? I didn't go real steep on my wing. If I had it all over to do again, definitely would have went a little steeper on the wing angle, and probably would have definitely helped me out because I was definitely getting loose, especially down to 1 and 2.
Absolutely. Well, Ernie, before we let you go celebrate with your team, who do you need to thank tonight?
Absolutely. Give a shout out to the guys back at Black Diamond Motorsports, Chris Roberts with DOB for putting this on 2 and 3 nights a week. Them guys take a lot of time and effort writing up reports and all that stuff. You guys, Esports Broadcasting Network, for doing the broadcast. Love going back and watching it. You guys do an awesome job. Tim Nichols, Tim Sims, Matt Henninger with Wicked Cushion, Ross Carenta with Velocity Race Design. You guys need a paint, get a hold of him. Totally Tinted with Nate Davis. A lot of people to thank, man. But I'll get out of here and let the next guy in, man. Nice talking to you guys, boys, and hopefully we can do it again next week.
Ernie, I'm going to put you back down to the waiting room. Do me a favor, wait for me until we go to the break because I do need to talk to you.
Gotcha.
So that was our winner, Ernie Williams Jr., and I believe you have his teammate with you now, Ben.
Josh may have had the fastest car here all night. Take us what it looked like from the driver's seat with you tonight.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I had the fastest car as well. Just stupid mistakes. I took like a little break. My VR wasn't working. I finally got it up and running again, and Man, oh man, there's multiple times I should have got around Ernie. My car was just God's faster, and I just mistake after mistake, just not running a smooth line, trying to get by him, or trying to pull a slider at the wrong time, and just didn't feel comfortable moving up and lose that, or tried a different line, and it just seemed like that the fastest line on the track was definitely the cushion, and I just wasn't able to put it together to get around him, and he kept the car alive to keep it up front. So hats off to him. But yeah, I definitely felt like we all had pretty good cars tonight. I just wish I would have been able to capitalize on that. I definitely feel like it was my race to win. Just kind of messed it up for myself.
And I mean, it was certainly still a great run for you. It looked like, in the final closing laps there that you might have had some for Ernie. I mean, how much of the, this is my friend, this is my teammate came into maybe not taking a risky shot at taking the win here tonight?
Yeah, there's probably one for sure slider where I was like, okay, I don't need to push this. If it was like another top competitor, I probably would have put it on him. But it was just a little too close for my liking, and I was happy with the second place still. It's still a very good run, and just didn't want to risk it too much. But and then when I closed up on Ernie that last time, I kind of gave him a little tap on the rear end to hopefully get him a little squirrely, lose a little momentum going into the turn, and then threw a slider, and he was able to keep it going pretty well and was able to cut back down. And then I just made a mistake right there, then and there, coming out of the turn, and I was just like, there was my moment. Kind of put a little move on him, a little friendly tap, but it just didn't work out. But hey, I'm still really happy with second and for how fast that car and how good it felt just after this new build. I'm really happy.
And for the people at home, I mean, Ernie talked about it for a quick minute there as Tony asked him about the track condition. And I mean, something that Ernie had brought up was, the pitch of the wing and stuff. With you guys being teammates, I mean, talk to people at home through how similar of a setup that you guys would run and what that track condition was like all night long for you.
With this new build, you can run your wing a little lower and more than normal. Like you have a 24 wing angle, you can drop it all the way to 20. And that just creates like less downforce and just kind of like more top end. And it just seems like that's always like the quick way, especially in like qualifying and stuff. But with this, it feels like the car really wings down with the new aerodynamics that they put into it. And it just seems like it's more sideways and you can really feel the pull of the wing. And I felt like I ran more wing angle than he did tonight, and because we were just kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, and we kind of had completely different setups, but I just knew I had more wing in it, and it felt better coming out of the corners. Definitely feel like I still had a lot of adjustments to make it enter a little bit better. I feel like that's where he was still able to get me. Just seemed like the car didn't want to rotate or swing over as quick as mine, but coming out, I was able to get on that throttle just so much more quicker, and it seemed like that track really slicked off quicker than ever, and to be honest, so I knew I was gonna throw a little bit more wing angle, get a little bit more bite in that rear end, and hopefully get better drive off, and it definitely seemed like it worked.
Absolutely, and a great iRacing for dummies for everybody at home not familiar with it. Very well put there. Is I don't have any seat time on the new model, but very precise and accurate with everything that you talked about there. Well, before we let you go here, and congratulations on another podium here with the DOB 410 Sprint Car Series. Who do you got to thank for putting the 80 in the second position tonight?
I'd like to thank the guys at Black Diamond Motorsports, Velocity Designs or Velocity Paints, Brett at UDTV, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, and all the fans and family watching at home. You guys for putting on the broadcast. It's always fun to watch these broadcasts, and I appreciate it a lot. And Chris for putting on the league. Always tries to do a good job keeping it clean and all that. I know there's a lot of cautions tonight. Just feel like guys are getting used to this new build. The cars definitely feel completely different, and this is the second time they changed it on us within the past 2 months. So definitely a lot of testing and tuning ahead of all of us drivers, and hopefully we can put it all together to hopefully put on some better shows.
Again, congratulations to you, Josh. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
So that was our second place finisher, Josh Steinke. And joining us now, the man that went from the penthouse to the outhouse and almost made it all the way back to the penthouse, driver of the 005, that is Braden Eiler. And Braden, definitely tough conditions out there tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, adversity going on. I almost felt like I had a car broadside in front of me every time I came out of turn 2. So avoiding wrecks is part of it. I don't know, came from the tail, got the 9th, and had to go back to the tail. And yeah, I'm surprised I got back to 3rd because I don't know how my car wasn't broke. I feel like I should have been on the hook some few times during that.
Well, Braden, you kept your cool about you, and you were able to climb back from getting that EOL penalty because they whacked you with slide job gone wrong. So moving forward, though, Eldora now in the books. We set our sights on going just up the road to Limaland. Your thoughts going into the big block race there?
I'm probably not gonna make it out for that one. But Limeland Big Blocks, I haven't really ever ran it, so we'll see. It should be an interesting race. It usually holds the bottom, and sometimes there's a middle cushion line. I haven't really had a whole lot of experience there in a modified.
All right. Well, Braden, we're gonna let you go get some food into you, get some water into you. Who do you need to thank before we let you go tonight?
Just everybody was up. We started the night struggling a little bit. I think we had, actually every single car that we had here was in the P main. So, but I found something that was pretty quick there before the feature. Ran it in the B main and it was absolutely on rails. So, I think we're working towards what we need to get here for the upcoming Pro Series. And also shout out to Ernie and Josh and their good runs. Wicked Energy Gum, Wicked Cushion, BS Airlines, Flow Racing, everybody else that sponsors the team, and everybody for putting this show on. And thanks to Chris for putting up with us and all the yellows.
All right, Braden Eiler, looking forward to seeing you next week. Best of luck to you then.
Thank you.
So we are going to take a quick moment to step away for this word from our good friends at Red Cat while we all jump in the McLaren and try to bust ass to get to Limaland for the big block modifieds. We'll be back shortly. Welcome to Limaland, Ohio, and home of the UNOH, University of Northern Ohio. One of their testing tracks in the Limaland Speedway. We are back for the DOB Big Block Modifieds. Round number 9 is qualifying underway right now. The ace of Mason Hannigan out on track right now. Looks like Greg Keppel goes quick time as Keppel, Hannigan, Clark, Piquel, your top 4, and heat race number 1 already gridding up. Zach Bardsley going to start up on the point. He's going to be joined with Reggie Regenball, Andrew Clark, Greg Keppel in row number 2, Jeff Sharp, Chris Roberts in row 3, and John Bragman and Peyton Grise in row number 4. 10 laps of scheduled distance here for the heat races, 4 transfer into the A main, everybody else going into the soup.
And this one's going to be a lot of fun. Limaland, as Ernie said there in the sprint car interview, pretty close to where he's from and just down the road there from Eldora. So not a far virtual trip for us here, a short one. Those outside walls come up very quick, and there's a lot of racing lines on this surface. As Zach Bardsley on the point of this one, and as we've seen so far this year, it can be tough to make it from point A to point B at times. So never more important than here at Limaland to maintain and take care of that car as the pace truck makes its way down the backstretch and pulls into the infield. Zach Bardsley in the 11, the 54 of Reggie Regenball. Bardsley on the loud pedal. We're under green conditions. Let's go big block racing.
Absolutely. Things are going to happen quick tonight as only a quarter mile flat oval here at Limaland. Bardsley, Clark, Regenball, your top 3 is Sharp and Keppel throwing haymakers at each other, and I believe that's Bragman there with them.
Yeah, no, everybody going to advance out of this one, but Sharp currently sitting in the 4th and final transfer spot, and he's got a pack of bees with Keppel, Roberts, and Bragman sitting there behind him looking to take it away as things far from over here. For starting lap number 4 of 10, and this is anybody's race up here up front right now, Tony.
Very much so. As that battle for 4th really hot and heavy right now between Keppel and Sharp as they work their way into turns 1 and 2 one more time. A little bit of a stack up there for second. That's going to open the door for the duo of Keppel and Sharp, as right now the 38 of Keppel has the final redraw spot. But Zach Bardsley just putting on a clinic, and we've got contact through 3 wide for a second there.
Yeah, Andrew Clark was able to take away second from Reggie Regenball, and with that, a little bit of contact made things interesting for the 28 of Sharp and Greg Keppel as Regenball continues to look to get that spot back from Clark. Coming down towards the end of this one, white flag in the air here for Bardsley. And it looks like coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Bardsley.
This is the white flag.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Now the white flag coming out for Bardsley. Bardsley followed by Clark, Regenball in a battle for the transfer spot now between Sharp and Keppel. Give it to Keppel at the line. What a race for that 4th and final transfer spot.
Absolutely.
And then taking a look back, Sharp on the outside, Roberts on the outside, finishing 6th, Bragman 7th, and Grice rounding out the field 8th in heat race number 1.
So heat race number 2 starting to grid up right now. That's Scott Fenstermaker in the 5, going to be starting up on the point. He's going to be joined with the 110 of Kevin Hanley. Josh Piquel and Mason Hannigan Two guys that are no stranger to doing battle with each other, going to be rolling off in row number 2. Row 3 gives us Eric Tupper and Pat Spangler, with row 4 all by his lonesome back there. That is the 01 of Kyle Stoltz.
Stoltz going to be looking for a good one here. Is some tough breaks in the 410 race from Eldora. Going to look to put together a strong one, and Hannigan slated in that 4 spot. Keep your eyes on him, as he's a stud in the sprint car and he's a stud in the big block modified. See how long is Piquel to his inside. Some really stout talent in this one.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be Hanley to his outside. I'm sorry. I had that messed up. Scott Fenstermaker, though, never count him out in the big blocks, as he's proving quickly to be one of the men to beat all season long here in the DOB big block modifieds. So 10 laps of scheduled distance as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Fenstermaker, Hanley, Piquel, Hannigan, Tupper, Spangler, and Stoltz. Your lineup in this one. Top 4 go to the redraw. Everybody else just going to be lining up on qualifying times as the pace truck is in, going through 3 and 4. Fenstermaker has the button, locks, cocks, and fires. And for a moment there, it looked like Hannigan was looking to make it 3 wide, as they are 3 wide for second.
Yeah, Hanley, a little bit of a slow start there, allowed for that one. Hannigan to the top now, still 3 wide with Piquel, and I believe that's Prey down on the bottom. I'm sorry, Eric Tupper down on the bottom, as they're still 3 wide, an entire lap 3 wide. And Hanley's got to be happy with that one if he can see it in his virtual rear mirror, because that's going to allow him to continue to close in on Fenstermacher. But now it's the 115 of Tupper on the bottom to no avail, continuing to plug away, as it looks like, Hanley into the front stretch wall. That's going to give up wholesale positions as he gets it gathered back up.
Well, Tupper's down there on the low side, flirting with those powdered donuts that signify where the infield is, as Fenstermaker, though, in control of this one by about 2 car lengths. Tupper, and here comes Pickle on the high side. Piquel trying to make it happen, as there is Hannigan as well. Hannigan with the final redraw spot, as Spangler, Stoltz, and Hanley all looking to try to figure out this very tight bull ring here in Lima, Ohio. As we are 4 to go, Fenstermaker continues to show the way. The battle between Piquel and Tupper still hot and heavy for the second spot, as those guys are still side by side, as Piquel found something a little bit better in the middle of the track, gets about a car length to the good over Tupper. Tupper tries to battle back, as we are popsicle sticks in the air.
And with the popsicle sticks, Mason Hannigan all the way on the extreme top side, trying to get some momentum built up to get this pass done, as it looks like he might have a good run of momentum here for Tupper. He does, heading into turn number 1. White flag in the air for Fenstermacher. Piquel in second down the backstretch, and Hannigan trying to take away the 3rd spot. Almost 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Give that 3rd spot to Hannigan late in the run there. Results from that one, Fenstermacher bringing it home in first, Piquel in second, Hannigan third, Eric Tupper fourth, and then not making it. But these top 4 guys are really going to have to battle here for that redraw is the importance of it here tonight, with not too many cars to have a B main here. But Kyle Stoltz 6th and Hanley in 7th. So a tough break for the 110 of Hanley after starting off pole in that one.
Absolutely. As again, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on the ESPN family of networks. Going on right now, round number 2 of Thursday Thunder. That is the Pavement Super Late models. They are at Hickory tonight. They are currently getting ready. I believe they're just about to start their A main over there. Tomorrow night, you can join James and myself in the booth for the Rowdy Energy Cup Series Round 8 round of 8, race 3 at, and that's not right. We are at Daytona for the first round of the playoffs for the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series tomorrow night. Not sure why that broadcast got removed, but so that'll be James and I in the booth for that one, 8:20 Eastern start time for that. Then we will be back on Monday for the Rowdy Energy Cup Series, round of 8, race 3. We're cutting heads at Martinsville, 8:20 Eastern time start for that one. Tuesday, you can join us for the triple header again, as it'll be the afternoon matinee of UK Sim Racing MX5 Pro Series, Week 8 at Twin Ring Matagi Road Course. That is a 3:50 start Eastern time in the U.S. for that one. And then at 8 p.m., we will be joining the Ricmatech Truck Series round number 3. And I do not have where they're scheduled to be yet. And then the nightcap will be Ben and I in the booth for the Western States Racing League round 16. That will be at Richmond at 10:05 Eastern. Excuse me. Just a single race on Wednesday this week as the Sim Racers Edge take the week off to prepare for the Indy doubleheader for the final 2 weeks of their season. So the one race on Wednesday will be Pony Express Sim Racing Endurance for Amateurs, round 8 at Cirque de la Sarthe over in Le Mans. That is a 9:25 Eastern time start for that one. And then, of course, we will be back here next week for the DOB and the Thursday Night Thunder Series. So, warm-up session underway right now. And guys getting one final look at the track. As Ben, I don't know about you, but this track looks like it is going just like we saw Eldora.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of a place like this. You might be comfortable in one spot and not so comfortable in another, and when it gets slick like this, you might not have a choice. And it's going to make for some really great racing. And while I got a quick second, let me give one more shout out here to the Streaker brothers and some people that make this possible for them as well. Streaker Racing, Sunny Solar, Clearview Farm Car, AAB Drain Cleaning, and that's George and Harl Streaker, who don't have all the same sponsors either. Streaker Racing Engines, French Grimes Race Systems, Clearview Farm, AAB Drain Cleaning, for all the plumbing and needs that you're going to have for family-owned prices.
And we are going to start back in row number 5 again with the lineup for this one, as there was a redraw for the top 8 starting spots. Ben, who do we have in row 5?
Row number 5 is composed of Jeff Sharp and Patrick Spangler. Row number 6, Chris Roberts and Kyle Stoltz. Row number 7, John Bragman and Kevin Hanley. And by his lonesome out there in row number 8, Peyton Grice in the 3.
So the cars starting to take evasive action to figure out where they've got to go for the redraw in this one. Looks like we're going to see the 33 of Piquel. Sorry, the 115 of Tupper going to be starting up on the point. Looks like that is Greg Keppel in the 38, going to be starting outside row 1. Row 2 sees Spangler and Piquel, Regenball and Sharp in row 3, Mason Hannigan and Scott Fenstermaker in row number 4. 50 laps of scheduled distance here tonight as Pace Truck lights go back on so we can make sure we get the lineup right. as field finally in the right order as field works its way down the front straightaway, and they extended the caution again. So Tupper, Keppel, Spangler, Piquel, Regenball, Sharp, Stoltz, Hannigan, Clark, Roberts, Fenstermaker, Hanley, Beardsley, Bragman, and Grise going to be starting this one off. Tupper's going to have the button as the pace truck picks up some speed as the lights go out. Give them a wave, folks. Here we go. We are turning them loose. One more time to go as the pace truck picks up speed down the back straightaway and peels on in. You wanted the best. You've got the best. The ground-pounding, earth-shaking beasts of the Northeast. The DOB Big Block Modifieds. Give them a wave, everybody. Let us know who you're pulling for tonight in the live chat. Let us know where you're from. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and share as here we go. Eric Tupper has the button as we get ready to fire him on off for 50 laps. The only thing that's left to do as the field works its way into turn number 3 is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness. Race fans, it's showtime!
And that's going to find Regenball going to work on the bottom side. He's right there with Patrick Spangler, and with that, that's allowing Tupper to gain quite the advantage early on, as running the bitter top side is the 38 of Keppel now. Keppel stuck up to the top with a handful of cars below him. Here comes Piquel, as multiple cars going to be able to get by. Spangler still out in front of him as they're 3 wide.
3 wide for third for a moment there, as that is Regenball, Keppel, and Piquel. Gaggle of cars right there as Piquel almost got squeezed into the wall. Tupper showing the way. Spangler sitting in second, and he's got to be biting his nails right now. Pack of Angry Wolves, here we go. Keppel able to get it done on the high side, wrestling the number 3 spot away from Regenball. Here comes Piquel on the high side as well.
And Stoltz now down on the bottom, had to check up quite hard. That's going to allow the one of Hannigan to get by. Hannigan going to cross over the 54 of Regenball with some contact with the wall, but a good head of momentum. Stoltz still on the bottom. We see Piquel now battling to the inside of Keppel. See what happens here. Keppel still beating down the wall. Some contact going to send Keppel up on 2 wheels and lose wholesale positions. As
dropped into 8.
Yeah, tough break there. And I mean, these guys are at it like a pack of wolves, still 3 wide behind Hannigan. That's Stoltz, Clark, and the 54 of Regenball. Now working the top side.
Looks like Chris Roberts going around in 3 and 4. Looks like there may have been some help. Yep. A little bit of help there from
Hanley?
I don't know. Timing scoring just threw up on me.
Yeah, it looks like it's Hanley.
Yes. The 110 of Hanley.
Just couldn't avoid it.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Tupper not leading this?
Tupper was out in front.
Why is he showing 6 laps down?
Huh. He's still out front, but you're absolutely right in timing and scoring 6 laps down. Maybe that was the
only
reason.
3 laps into the race.
Yeah. Can't answer that one for you, but he's still leading it and bringing the field back to green.
I'm talking about the official iRacing timing and scoring at 6 laps down. Gonna lead him back down the green, though. You're right, as he racks fires and pulls the trigger. We are back underway. Spangler sitting in second, as that is Piquel. up into third, slugging it out with Mason Hannigan. Hannigan on the low side, Piquel on the high side. Piquel able to get the momentum on that second lane. Hannigan now goes to the top deck as they work their way down the back straightaway.
And potentially maybe why we saw the extended parade lap of this one. Just some bugs here in the timing and scoring. So as you had mentioned, though, Spangler still out in front of Piquel, and Hannigan now has closed that gap on Piquel. Now going to work back to the bottom side is the one of Hannigan, as we haven't seen a whole lot of action down on the bottom side of the speedway. Maybe some life down there as they're looking to go 3 wide for second. It's Piquel, Hannigan, and Spangler. And all the meanwhile, Clark has built up quite the head of momentum on the top side.
Absolutely, and this is why I've always said that anytime iRacing rolls out an update, whatever leagues are running that night should postpone to the following week, because you always get bugs like this on rollout day, as there was an update earlier today for the iRacing servers. As Tupper continues to show the way, Piquel, Spangler, and Clark dealing with Hannigan right now. It's Clark now dealing with Piquel. Clark was shot out of a cannon coming off a 4, as it looks like Hannigan having some trouble in the mid-groove, starting to slick off on the low side.
And watch out for the 98 of Clark up on the top. He was caution coming out.
Bardsley.
Zach Bardsley having some trouble here. James gets you the good replay going. So coming into the flag stand, just heavy contact. It looked all by himself with the wall, gonna send him around in a circle and collect the 110 of Hanley with some damage, teeing up on the door right at the number of the 11. Bardsley able to get that 11 turned back around and stay out on the track. Take a look at Hanley, see if he's got any substantial damage on that car.
Hanley's definitely going pit side. So, because I mean, eating that concrete wall that is very unforgiving here at Limaland, definitely not something you want to do on a regular basis. But again, we are in beautiful, picturesque Lima, Ohio. And yes, that is sarcasm. 62-degree ambient air temperature, relatively cool conditions here in northern Ohio, as we are back underway as Tupper continues to show the way, but they are 3 wide behind them. That's Piquel, Spangler, and Clark slugging it out.
Absolutely. Clark with the good run of momentum on the top. Still stuck behind the 33 of Piquel, but we've seen some really great speed out of Amir so far. 20 laps down this time by the flag stand, and it's been all Tupper out front. Hannigan now to the inside of Spangler on a backslide as the top side looking very dominant right now. Clark now up to the 3rd spot, the 54, sitting in 4th as Hannigan continues to try to work the bottom of the speedway, one of the only ones, and he's found some guys to come with him, Spangler and Stoltz. Spangler having a heck of a time now trying to get a handle on the 051 down on the bottom side of the speedway.
Absolutely, as Hannigan throws the block, Spangler goes into Keppel goes into the wall, and that's going to let him fall back into the clutches of the 051 of Spangler, as right now it's still Tupper, Piquel, and Clark on your podium. And timing and scoring be damned, as we are quickly approaching we'll be halfway the next time across the stripe, as the battle for second still hot and heavy between Piquel and Clark.
Clark and Piquel trading sliders. Piquel very respectful, staying down on the bottom. Piquel sliding up as the caution comes out. That's probably going to save that for Andrew Clark. He was scored in the 2nd spot that time by. Try to find where this caution's at.
Regenball.
Reggie Regenball, who was having a really, really great run here so far tonight.
Oi.
Goes for a real hard ride. Is coming into the front stretch. He catches the wall and goes end over end into turn number 1. And then some contact with Spangler sends him back up into the wall, back down into the track. Looked like Hanley again with some contact there. Chris Roberts with some heavy contact, a little bit of contact to the right rear quarter panel of Bardsley as well, but didn't look like anybody got it too bad there. Chris Roberts, probably the worst of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is still trying to figure out what's going on with Eric Tupper here. Timing and scoring just apparently decided to throw up. So Tupper, Clark, Piquel, your top three. Hannigan on the outside of row number 2 as we rack 'em, stack 'em, and fire it again. This time, here comes Spangler on the high side, trying to make something happen on that second shelf. As Clark in control of this one so far. Piquel, Hannigan, and Keppel all just right there.
Piquel going to fall out of the top line. Now contact with Hannigan, both able to keep it together. Keppel's going to need to call John's Dry Cleaning after that one, but watch out for the 98 of Clark. He has been fast all night long. Thought that maybe he was going to have it on Tupper there last time, as Tupper elected to stay in the middle, but was able finally in the backstretch to come up and block the momentum. As Clark trying this crossover line, having quite a bit of success, but how long will Hannigan be patient for as he takes a look? A little bit lower coming off now as well. The high side very dominant as Clark lifting the left front clear off the racing surface with as much forward bite as he's got in the 98. So keep your eyes on the 98 of Clark, trying to take this one away from Tupper, as Tupper has led every lap in this one so far.
Absolutely. And I do need to correct you there, Ben. It was John's Dry Cleaning in Rosberg, Ohio. Now that we're in Lima, Ohio, it's Mr. Who's Dry Cleaning Services. So if you go number 2 in your trousers, you need to call Who. So Tupper, Clark, and Hannigan, your top three, seems to get a little bit of separation as slide job. Clark to the point. Tupper battling back, able to wrestle the spot away off of 4, but Clark was full send it mode going into 3 there.
Absolutely. Clark's been trying this line for several laps now, having quite a bit of success with it. It's just a matter of will Tupper make a mistake that allows that crossover line to really take on its full potential coming off. So clean up there on the wall is Tupper. Now Clark to the bottom. Will we see a slider? No. He's going to try to stick it to the bottom. And a really good drive for him, surprisingly. The momentum pays off. He's going to have to slide up in front of the one of Hannigan now to try to stall out his momentum back to the top for the 98 of Clark now, as he does not want to lose that second spot to the one of Hannigan.
Absolutely. Hannigan always one to beat here in the big blocks, as here comes Clark one more time. Slider going through 2. Tupper crosses him back over down the backstretch. Now Tupper to the low side, tries the slider again, not able to make it stick as Clark to the point. Tupper back to second, still slugging it out here as we are going to be 10 to go this next time across the stripe.
With 10 to go at the stripe, our first new leader of this one, Andrew Clark, out in front of Eric Tupper. And Eric Tupper's got a handful with the one of Hannigan, trying to use that same kind of tactic, a little bit lower than what Clark was using. And now a block from Tupper on Hannigan. He saw him running that line, going to take that away from him this time. Hannigan with a good drive off the bottom. Will we see a slide job? No, not enough for Hannigan to get a good slide on Tupper. Going to opt out of that one as Clark continues to lead in a little bit of space back to Keppel. Relatively single file around the top side of Limaland right now, Tony.
Absolutely. As we are 7 to go, as they're coming into lap traffic, that looks like Zach Regenball not having a good night here tonight as they work their way off of 4. Clark, Tupper, Hannigan, your top 3, and one upside down. How is that not a caution?
No caution flag. And that almost cost
Okay.
Clark the race there too. It was right there, and when you poo, you know who, Doctor Who.
No, Mr. Who's dry cleaning service.
Mr. Who, not Doctor.
He could be a doctor. I don't know. I've never actually met the man. But, yeah, Regan Ball towing it as race control throwing a caution there. So Clark, Tupper, and Hannigan, your top three, as we are going to refire with 4 to go. So still a lot of racing left to do. Now the question is, does anybody have anything for Andrew Clark? And did Tupper burn his right rear off already?
And the single file restart here, if I'm not mistaken, is going to really aid in Andrew Clark's conundrum, if you will, of being in the lead of this one. Is going to help him out a little bit, but he's got 2 dogs behind him in Eric Tupper and Mason Hannigan. And we know that Hannigan certainly is capable of getting the job done. Can Clark hang on to this one? We're going to find out momentarily. A great restart for him here out in front of Tupper, and Hannigan not getting the start that he'd like.
Hannigan not getting the restart he liked. Fell back into the clutches of Greg Keppel as they work their way under the flag stand. 3 to go. Clark showing the way. Tupper sitting in second. Hannigan in third as they've got that one sorted out. The battle right now is between Piquel and Spangler for fifth. Meanwhile, up in front with 2 to go, it is Andrew Clark showing the way by 2.5 car lengths over Mason Hannigan, over Eric Tupper, as Hannigan throws it to the extreme low side, flirting with the powdered donuts. Not going to work out for him as well as he was hoping. White flag in the air. One more time around. Andrew Clark showing the way. Tupper sitting in second. And Tupper almost jumps the cushion, coming to the checkers. Give it to Andrew Clark. Wow, big contact.
Yeah, coming off of turn 4, Hannigan got into the outside wall, sent him around, and there's Keppel slamming right into him, and then Piquel as everybody's drag racing to the line, and it was quite the group of cars. But with that contact, Keppel sent Hannigan through the checkered just in front of him there.
Absolutely. So Clark, Tupper, Hannigan, Capel, Piquel, Spangler, Bergman, Sharp, Stoltz, Hanley, Grise, Roberts, Fenstermaker, Beardsley, and Regenball, your finishing order here tonight, as we are just waiting for these guys to get in. And Ben, I believe you've got our winner with you now.
This is Ben up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, Ben?
Hey, really great run here for you tonight from Limaland. It was a rather hectic one as you were able to take away that top spot from Tupper. And then shortly after that, we had to call the dry cleaners for you for the race suit.
Oh yeah, that was a close one. I don't know how it wasn't a caution, but thankfully I was looking ahead, and my teammate actually pointed out to me that there was a guy spinning, so I ducked down. But luckily I did that, because if not, our night would have been ended.
And a tough surface out there tonight from Limaland. Kind of take us through what was going through your head. You were one of the only guys, or the first guy, to try that crossover line coming off of the turns and trying to find some moisture. What was going through your head?
Yeah, every week, I have a bad week going. I'm always starting towards the back, so it's kind of neat for that, so I can find different lines. And I got up to, I think, second, right behind my teammate Tupper, and I found that line in 3 and 4, and I was hopefully he wasn't, watching me or paying attention. And I got a good run on one of the cut down lines and took it from him. And when he saw me do that, he started doing it, and I'm just happy we held off Mason for how hot he is this year.
Absolutely, and in a really good race between you and your teammate there. We talked about it with some of the 410 guys just previous to the big block race. In that the teammate thing, how much of that came into play on how aggressive that you wanted to race, Eric?
Yeah, that's if it was anyone else, I probably would have threw the slider, a couple laps sooner because I got a good run on, I think like lap 27 or 28, and I was gonna do it then. But I don't. When I'm racing my teammates, I think about the bigger picture, like us going 1 and 2. I'm happy, I'm content where I was, but I just got that good run when I took the lead from him that I could not throw it. So. And we respect each other a lot. We race with each other daily. We know how each other drives, so it's fun to race around teammates.
Absolutely. And I mean, you certainly didn't get it done in easy fashion, as had to work your way up. You touched on it there with some trouble with these redraws here this season. I mean, it just seemed like you were dominant all night, Andrew.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks, and I love coming here. I just recently came off a big win for the Bicknell series. I came off just a couple days ago. I won here, so it was kind of convenient for me to come back here with the DOB and bring her back home to victory lane. It felt nice.
And congratulations to you on winning this one here. Who do you got to thank for getting you on the podium here tonight?
I got to thank the team, Extreme Modified Race, and I got to thank our setup builder, Swan Speed Shop, Eastern Iowa Landscaping, Hands Performance, RC Services, Rocco Construction. I got to thank you guys for putting on a broadcast and letting us show our talents.
Again, congratulations, Andrew. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
And Andrew, next time you see Beef, tell him I said hi.
Ready.
So that was our winner, Andrew Clark. Joining us now, the man that led the most laps here tonight, but unfortunately going to be the bridesmaid at the end of it. Eric Tupper, iRacing Timing and Scoring may have gotten it wrong, but we didn't up here in the booth.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My teammate Andrew Clark there, who won the race, congrats to him, was telling me over the radio that I was 6 laps down. I'm like, what the heck happened there? But
only 3 laps into a race.
Yeah, and hey, I'll take bridesmaid all day as long as I beat Mason. That guy's quick, and to have him behind me at the end of the race is, I think, accomplishment in its own.
Well, you had one of the strongest cars here all night long. I mean, just putting on a clinic in the heat race like you did, and then getting a decent redraw. Talk us through just how difficult Limaland is for somebody that doesn't think that this quarter-mile bull ring looks that difficult.
I've never really been a fan of it, but I can get around it pretty good. There's definitely 3 lines in this track that you can run. The bottom is there if you keep it right on them tires. The middle's there. The top is there because that cushion builds up and you can get that run off the top. So there's definitely room to move around and race. And when it slicks off like it did towards the end of this race, it kind of comes to become one lane unless you really set up for one particular lane on the track. Andrew was able to find some speed that I just didn't find soon enough, and he was able to get by me. But we come home second. Good points tonight. We'll take it.
Absolutely, but again, great night for your team as well, going 1-2. How much fun is it racing with your buddy like that?
Oh, it's definitely more fun because you're like, God, I gotta beat him. God, I gotta beat him. But he's so good here at Lima. I know he's always one to be competitive with at the end of the race.
Absolutely, Eric. Before we let you go celebrate with your teammate, who do you need to thank tonight?
Swan Setups, SLR, Eastern Iowa Landscaping, Team XMR, Team HAR, you guys for broadcasting, and DOB for putting on the show.
All right. Well, Eric Tupper, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Hopefully you're one step higher next week.
Yes, thank you very much.
So that was our second place finisher, Mason Hannigan. And joining us now, the man who came home in third, the driver of the Ace. Ben, I believe you've got Mason Hannigan with you now.
Mason, a great run here for you tonight. You couldn't get it done the easy way here tonight. Is started a little bit further back than you wanted to, a couple of shuffle ups, but ultimately you found the speed in that Ace car to get the job done.
Yeah, clearly not enough, but that's part of it. Sometimes you ain't gonna win them all. So Andrew drove a hell of a race, so did Eric, and can't be too mad with third. But
All I can say is I hate Lima on iRacing. That's for sure.
And I mean, it seemed like the top side was rather dominant. I saw you take a look a couple times down to the bottom trying to find some moisture. Take us through what the track condition was like and how it was to drive on it and how hard it was to pass.
Yeah, it was extremely difficult to pass. I don't think any of the passes were actually legit, other than probably Andrews on Chris or on Eric there, and when he took the lead. But yeah, I don't know. The place is so top dominant. It's just like a sprint car, so yeah, it's part of it.
Absolutely. And yet again, we see you get all that handled and figured out, able to fight and claw your way onto the podium yet again here. What's that mean for you in your hunt for the championship here this year?
Yeah, just got to click off consistent races, that's for sure. So, I don't know if we come back in a while, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we look forward to seeing you for sure in the future here with these guys. As it's always a show when you're out there on the track. Who do you got to thank for making that car so quick week in and week out?
Yeah, Black Time Motorsports, Tim Sims, UDTV, Velocity Races on, all the guys at DOB, and you guys. And yeah, I don't know. It was interesting race, and we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Everybody, that was Mason Hannigan coming home in that third and final podium spot here tonight. Congratulations again, Mason.
Thank you.
So that is going to about wrap it up here for the round number 9 for the DOB Dirt Series. Next week, 410s at USA in Lakeland, Florida, followed by big blocks at the most storied track in the Northeast. We go to the Grove, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and Williams Grove Speedway. For Mr. James Riles up in the production truck, for Ben Bruno up here in the booth, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.